just kill like that. It's the same deal. You just got another pressure plate here that takes you back out. It's just the opposite side. You can actually ignore this corridor if you want. You really can. But there's a block here. So grab the block. And what we're going to do is go way down that pressure plate on the opposite side of this room, down where we just were, if that makes any sense at all. But yeah, so what was there to talk about? Last time I filmed, as I said, I didn't really talk about anything. I did another driving lesson. I feel like Tomb Raider, the Tomb Raider thing LP, I can just be talking about that and how it's going. It went much better this week, really good. I'm getting like proper used to changing the gears while I'm going, and yeah, it was quite funny to see how much progress I'd made. Really, I felt a little bit like my instructor was just wasting time, kind of thing, like, because then I'd need more lessons and she might be able to get more money for a while. But I obviously I didn't say anything like that to her, but after a while, like after we started talking, like this week's lesson, we actually did quite a lot of driving, and it was quite good, and it felt good. And she even mentioned there was another learner in another car near us. Oh yeah, oh, okay, here's something else to mention actually. You see when we just picked up this block, this is the relic, okay? You pick up the block, and a lot of you probably already saw that. The relic's there, beyond that gate. I mean, it's just laying there, literally just laying there. So you're like, oh, okay, so there's a gate there. What could possibly open that? Well, we've got some pressure pads around, don't we? I wonder what about the pressure pads. Let's go tread on one. This one here is the nearest one. I mean, pretty easy to just check, right? So let's go running on over. Oh yeah, I just saw it slam down. Okay, so how do we do that? Alright, let's just weigh down the pressure plate and go and pick up the relic. That's it. That's it, literally. That's the relic. This is why I forgot where all the locations are, because they're just so, not necessarily all easy to get to, but so uncreative. I mean, what is that? That could easily be a bronze in Tomb Raider Legend. Easily, because you can easily see it. Maybe a silver if you're pushing it. The gold? Hell no. There you go, there's the relic. Simple, done. Yeah, anyway, so in the driving lesson, she basically, there was another driver on the other side of the road, and it must have been this guy's first lesson, or at least I hope it was his first lesson. Basically, they were in there for 2 hours. I have 2 hours at a time, and they were in there on the other side of the road the entire time, just sat there. And in the end, she pointed out to me, and she was like, look, a lot of instructors do crap like that because then they'll just get more money. And it was weird because I'd been thinking it, and then there she was mentioning it, so maybe she'd cottoned on to the fact that I was probably thinking it. And from that moment, she was like, I'm not like that, don't worry about that. And then from that moment, we just, yeah. So it went well. Anyway, it went well. If you've never learned to drive and you're watching this and you think it might be too late, I was thinking it was too late for me for a while, honestly. I really did. Go for it. Go for it, honestly. The first 2 weeks it felt like I was doing a lot at once, but yeah, I'm totally getting down with it now. And that's after just, what is that? 3 hours now, I suppose. Well, the thing is, it's like the first lesson I didn't really do anything, so I don't really consider that. So yeah, about 3 hours, I guess. A lot, but even that's not with too much driving. But anyway, right. So we've weighed down one block. As I'm sure you've deduced from watching the footage, you need 2 blocks to weigh down a pressure pad all the way, which is why you need to like go around and gather up all these blocks. It's not much of a puzzle, really, is it? I mean, it's pretty simple to figure out what to do. But here's what happens with the sound design that I was talking about. What happens is, you notice how when we put that first block down on the pressure pad over here in the middle and it didn't quite do anything, still no music played, right? But by this point we know how we're sorting this out, and the game knows we figured it out. So as soon as we come on here and place it down, it starts to play music for us, which is really cool. There you go, there you go. I was scared for a second I wasn't going to do it. So it starts to play music. I think that's really cool, and what they do is quite cool here. So now we've got the light. We know that we've just done something significant. We know we've just kind of unlocked a part of the puzzle over there. So it feels like the music's like sort of baiting you into it. It's like, something's going on, something's going on. You come round, and it's quite subdued, the music at this point. And now you're like, okay, what do we do now? Well, let's try and grab this and see what happens. And still nothing happens, right? But the music slowly just ramps up. Now, what we want to do is start fiddling around with these. As I said, what these do is spin the things on the top of the platform. You see that? And what that does is affects how the light from the torch is playing with the light on those stained glass windows. What we need to do is, can you see how there's like an angel on the stained glass windows? You need to make it so that the light only shines on the angel on each side. And I already know how to do that with which levers, so if you just copy me exactly, then it'll be fine. There you go. See, and the music gets a bit louder. I love it. It's so good what they do here. And it just keeps ramping up. So then what we're going to do is come over to this one here as well. And do the same thing. Pull the lever not once, not twice, but 3 times. And it's as simple as that. Obviously, if you don't know that exactly, then it'll be a bit harder. See, it gets louder. And then you go, and then you're like, oh, I've got just one more thing to do now. And you run over and start spinning this thing around. Ah, Lara, Jesus, why do you love to kick so much? There we go. And now it will open, as you can see. Little thing to consider here, though. The puzzle isn't fully over, I suppose. Now it's slowly closing. And the question is, how the hell do I get there while it's closing? Well, that is where this wall over here that I showed you comes in. You come over here, climb it. It took me a little while to find this on my test run, honestly, to actually figure out exactly where this place was. I'd completely forgotten. It actually makes you as well, which I think is quite cool, come back round into the first part of the level, which is kind of cool. So you go into this half of the room, and then you jump up, swing across, straight through, 118, and you are done. And yeah, you get plenty of time, as you can see, so no rush, guys. I wonder what happens if you just stand in the middle there. Should I try this? See what? No, I can't be bothered. Right, okay, so we're going to go through, and we're almost at the end of the... Ow! We're almost at the end of the level now, sadly. I've got to admit to you, it's not an incredibly long level. It's really not. You'll come up here. Lots of spiders. Kill the spiders. I do like the assault rifle for killing insects. That's pretty cool. Ow! They don't do much damage to you, as you can see. And you get plenty of health kits in the level. We can come around here and acquire a couple of secrets that are just sort of laying around. How many secrets are there on this level? Hold on, let me see. Only 13, and we've got 8 of them already. I know that there's 2 more in the room that I'm about to go to. Huh, so look, I've almost got all the secrets on here, just from looking around. I'm sure I missed some pots earlier in the room we were just in. Anyway, you come up here for a nice cutscene.
Hello, Lara. Here in this room is everything we recovered from Bogavati, Thailand. Be especially careful with the thralls. They managed to kill 6 of us before we boxed them up. They were protecting one of Thor's gauntlets and a map showing where the rest of his treasures were hidden, all of which are necessary to open the way to Avalon. The Norse believe this site contains a powerful weapon, and to safeguard against this possibility, I destroyed the original map. I hope this was not a terrible mistake, but if it was, I hope you and your mother can forgive me.
I find it weird that that gauntlet disintegrates too. It's like her father would have been using that really recently, and yet it still disintegrates. It's a bit weird, don't you think?